Welcome to Daily Wisdom, where every single day we seek to take a piece of God's wisdom and apply that to our everyday life. We are currently reading using a plan called The Essential Jesus. And if you want to follow along with us each and every day, you can download the Bible app and follow along utilizing that. But there's also other ways to access it. You can find links in the description below here on YouTube, and that should help you get what you need so that you can track along with us. We've been reading in the prophet Isaiah. And this prophet contains more information about the coming Messiah, Jesus, than any other Old Testament prophetic book. Today we find ourselves in Isaiah chapter 9. Leading up to this, the people of Israel were threatened by two previous armies, and God helped them to conquer those threats. Yet the people of Israel still, even after God's assistance, still were continuing to live in sin, disobedient to God's will in their lives. And as a result of that, they are now threatened by the Assyrians, a much greater army, an army that is eventually going to devastate the region as they are conquered by the Assyrians. And even in the midst of that despair, God, however, offers them hope for a greater future. Let's jump into Isaiah 9, chapter 9, verse 1. Nevertheless, there will be no more gloom for those who were in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali. But in the future, he will honor Galilee of the nations by the way of the sea, beyond the Jordan. The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. Isaiah is talking about a time in the future, a time when the Messiah will come, the light of the world. And Jesus said that he is the light of the world. God is offering hope to his people who are living in a dark time. They're living in darkness because of their sin. And even in the midst of their wrongdoing, their bad choices, God still gives them hope for a greater future, that a light that is going to lead them out of this darkness, the light that Jesus brings. And friends, maybe you're in a dark moment of your life. You know, sometimes our choices, our wrongdoing, our sin can lead us to the darkest places. And in those moments, that's when we have our greatest doubts. It's when we carry our biggest guilt, and it's when we try to endure our greatest fears. And when you are consumed with doubt, sometimes it's hard to see the next step. Sometimes it's hard to see where our destination is, where we're supposed to go to make our way out of this darkness. And it reminds me of another verse in the Psalms, Psalm 119. It says this, "Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path." That word and that light is the person of Jesus. And what I find interesting about that verse is, as Jesus is the light of the world, when it applies to us individually, sometimes that light isn't enough for us to see the final destination, meaning that we don't always know. God doesn't always reveal to us exactly where he's taking us, but he always provides enough light for our feet, meaning we may not be able to see the whole path and where that path ends, but there's always enough light for our feet to take the very next step. So no matter what it is that you're going through, no matter where your darkness has taken you, there is a way out. There is hope through the wisdom and truth that Jesus offers. And by applying his teachings to your life and accepting his forgiveness for your wrongdoing, you can have enough light to take your next step toward him, to lead you out of the dark place that you may be emotionally and spiritually and even physically right now. God's wisdom is still available to you. And so what I would encourage you to do is to consider spending some time in prayer, kind of reset your mind and your heart to be open to the truth and the wisdom that Jesus offers to each of us, and accept his forgiveness so that you too can find that light to take your next step toward him. I hope you found today's short study encouraging. If so, hit that thumbs up button. That'll help others to see it. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so you don't miss out on any of the short studies that we do together each morning, Monday through Friday. We'll see you tomorrow.